by another guest.
Wendy Jolls of the Monroe Food Pantry.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, this is a really great organization. I mean, tell us a little bit about the Monroe Food Pantry and what you guys do.
The Monroe Food Pantry really came into existence about 15 years ago. They moved it from where the current library is when they built the library. We're located at 980 Monroe Turnpike right near Massac High School. And we service a community of people who fall below the poverty level. We currently have about 250 registered families. And every single month, we religiously get in probably about 130 of them. And they come in for 1 week's worth of groceries, which consists of dry goods, as well as milk, meat, eggs, when I have it, cheese, and also fresh produce and bread. And then on the other weeks that they're not coming in to get their week's worth of groceries, they come in for fresh produce and bread. Because those items are so expensive in the store, and they really can't afford to supply their families.
Right. Where do you guys get the donations from?
Totally from the generosity of the people.
Wow.
And Monroe is one of the most generous communities I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. I love being here. I love the people. It's awesome.
Right.
And where are you all located out of that you're able to store the fresh produce and fresh dairy and all that?
We have a little house. It's right near Massac High. We have, I want to say, 7 freezers and about 3 or 4 refrigerators.
And what I was going to mention before was that, being a suburban town like Monroe is, people tend not to think that there is a need for this kind of services you deliver. You're nodding your head. Obviously, you've probably heard this a lot, but tell us about that.
All the time. I try and shop locally because it builds awareness as well as it builds a sense of community, and it keeps our funds that come in all under donation. It keeps them in the community. So it's a win-win situation. So when I go in the grocery store and I've got 30 jars of mayonnaise and 25 bottles of ketchup and about 100 cans of tuna fish, people go, wow, are you having a really big picnic? And I'm like, no.
See, I would have guessed you were a hoarder, but whatever.
Yeah, no, this is for the Monroe Food Pantry. And they just look at me like, really? There's a Monroe Food Pantry? There's a need for a pantry?
Right.
But Monroe is such a small town. We don't need a food pantry, right? You hear that constantly.
I hear it all the time. You know, a lot of the families who are at my pantry fall under a few different categories. One is senior citizens. Probably 1/3 of my population are over 65. Social Security isn't really paying people much to be able to survive in Fairfield County. I have a woman who's in her 80s. She brings home less than $800 a month. Right? So,
Wow.
And she just told me this past week she doesn't think she's going to be able to stay in her house anymore. It's really sad. Food stamps, people think that food stamps is the be-all and end-all to all the problems. And it's not, because a family of 3, which is typically a single parent with 2 children, will receive $409 a month with no income coming in. That's what they get. So with no dollars, they get $409 a month. And a gallon of milk is typically $4.
Right. And if they're working like a minimum wage job, they get a little bit less than that. It's a scale, right?
They do. It's a scale. Right. So, I mean, that same woman I just told you about, she gets about 36 cents a day. I couldn't feed my dogs on that.
No.
So, I mean, it doesn't really give them a lot. So that's what we're there for, you know. And then if they need more than once a month, then we bring them in. Nobody goes home hungry.
And I really feel there's something so special about that, because sometimes when you donate money to organizations, you don't know exactly where it's going to. But when you give food or you donate money to a food pantry, you know it's going to feed somebody, which is such an incredible impact to have in somebody's life.
Right.
I mean, you're meeting such a basic need.
It's 100% of the money that comes into the food pantry, unless it's deemed for equipment or something like that. All of the money that comes in goes for food.
And how can people donate?
Very simply, they can write a check. They can mail it to the senior center and, put Monroe Food Pantry and mail it to, I think it's 235 Cutler's Farm Road, which is where social services is out of. They can drop it by. We also take gift cards for the stores because, like I said, we shop locally.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Love that.
Now, do you accept food submissions also, or
I'm sorry?
do you accept food submission donations
We do.
also? Yes.
We do. And we'll accept perishables as long as they're wrapped from the store. We will accept them. Just don't leave it on my doorstep because that's not a good thing. I actually had turkeys dropped in the box outside this fall, and I was like, Not such a good idea. We're only there 3 days a week, so you never know.
Right. And is this a hard time of year to get donations? Because I
It
know
is.
around the holidays is everyone wants to give,
yeah.
but now is probably when you guys need it most.
We do. Donations from January 1st start dropping. We really have a lull about May, June, July, August, September.
And that's when you need it the most, right? I've heard that because when the kids are out of school and a lot
Right.
of the
Right.
smaller
School
families,
lunches
they rely
aren't
on the
being
school
provided,
lunches.
right, during
Exactly.
the
So
summer.
now I start beefing up on the things like peanut butter and jelly, beefaroni, macaroni and cheese. So when the kids are home,
Kid-friendly stuff.
they have foods to eat. So my whole menu changes.
Yeah.
So, and I do post a list. We have a Facebook account. And so I do them probably once a month, and I post a list, and I'll do it by the sales flyers.
What is it, Facebook Monroe Food Pantry?
It is.
Okay.
Yep. So they can go up there and see what we need. They can call me at any time that I'm there. But yeah, and definitely stop by and visit us, because I love nothing more than to educate people and show them what we're all about.
Sure.
I love that. No, such a great organization, and really a community organization, because you're feeding Monroe families and you're helping people right here.
Right. And we get the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts come in and they volunteer, which is a lot of fun. So that's also a big part of the community, because we're also helping them. They earn their merit badges, and they get a sense of who we are and what we do.
That's great. Well, Wendy, thank you so much for talking with us. We
Thank
love
you.
having you on, and it's such a great cause. Everyone check out Monroe Food Pantry on Facebook.
I'm going to put a plug in.
Please do.
Okay, so on May 9th is a post office food drive. So everybody, please put your non-perishable goods out on May 9th. Since it's rained the last 3 years, maybe it's a good idea to put them in plastic and wrap them up. And please check the dates, because we can't give expired food out. And we do get things that are expired, so please check the dates and donate. Our families could really use it. I give away anywhere from 11,000 to 12,000 pounds of food a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Wendy.
you.
Love having
Thank
you
you.
on.
Great meeting you.
Great
Thank you. Nice
cause.
meeting
Great
you.
meeting you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're here live from Meet Monroe.